Hey everybody, my name is Courtney and I'm here with our intrepid team of remote viewers here at Future Forecasting Group. Uh, and we have got another crypto view to go through tonight. So the guys are still blind to the target. So I'm going to do a little target reveal action later on in the video. Uh, our financial analyst, Marty Hibbs, will be popping in to give us his take on the target. But right now, I am going to actually put these poor guys out of their misery so they can see what their data was reflecting. All right, and see if anybody's heard of this before.
Yeah, yeah.
Toncoin. All right. So we're looking at Toncoin projected performance. And we asked the viewers to look out for this coin for the next 2 years and record that activity in graphs and charts. This thing was founded by a guy named Pavel and Nikolai Durov, who actually were the founders of Telegram, which is what this used to be tied to, which is pretty interesting. Anybody have any initial thoughts on this before we get into the data? This is one you guys have heard of, right? Maybe?
Never.
Yeah, somebody made a pitch to me on this, and it seemed to me to be a multi-level marketing. We have a group of crypto enthusiasts that we meet every few months and just talk about what's going on. They said, "Oh, this lady's going to come meet with us," and she gave us this whole presentation on Toncoin.
Yeah, I was going to
I'll
ask.
give my remote viewing on it.
Yeah.
I don't think I was too hot this time. Here we go.
No, I do think what you hit on the elements of the DeFi and the ecosystem, because that is definitely something that they're pushing as far as their model, and it being tied to something else with, like I said, it is tied to Telegram, which is that communication network. So, all right, Sean, how about we go through your session?
All right.
See how you feel about Toncoin.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this one. It didn't feel like it was an encouraging one, but I got a sense that there's maybe some things happening to make some changes. So we'll see.
Yeah, I thought you had a very interesting session. Like I said, I love the dude in the walker. And that I do wonder if your kind of connection to the past is that outlet just based on the name that it's so heavily tied to Telegram, as being an old-fashioned form of communication, or, just like I said, I've only done some preliminary research on this one, and the website didn't look super exciting. It didn't look like it had a lot of stuff going on with it. It's more of, like mobile wallet type.
Mhm.
But I think of like how Telegram, it's such a low tech kind of chat,
Yeah.
function anyway. So yeah,
The other thing too is that the nostalgia for the past that kind of kept coming up. You said that the original Gram or Telegram project was abandoned and they had to rebrand it. And there could be some folks that are like just stuck on the old idea. So that could have been part of the reason for that too. So
interesting. I like that. I like that take. And in your sessions, you very often really tie into the people. So that's kind of your in with all of that. So I could see that folks are kind of stuck in the past.
yeah. I'm sorry, Dick, were you going to say something?
No, I'll get it later when we summarize. I got
He's,
some research to share after everybody's presented their data. So yeah.
I
Thanks,
love it.
Courtney. Thanks,
Dick is
guys.
our on the spot researcher. Woo. So, all right, Edward, let's see what your data will hold.
Okay. Wow. But what I did find with the stable coin, and this was just announced on the 1st of November, Tether to launch AED pegged stablecoin on the Tone blockchain. Tether is gonna peg the United Arab Emirates dirham to the Tone blockchain. So their currency, they're going to peg it onto the Tone's blockchain. So that's pretty big. We'll see how that goes, but it looks like that's my stablecoin connection.
I think you've captured so far what we're seeing as kind of the blah spirit of this target. So far,
Yeah.
it's not really wowing anybody. I did like that Tether connection, how it is tied to Tether. And yeah, I'm curious with if we're going to be looking at some additional regulation kind of things coming down the pike, or like I said, as you mentioned, that the CEO from Telegram is, been arrested in France. So, hey, there are some legal things in the background with this. So overall, what was your sense? You just been liking?
Kind of a blah feel. Nothing too spectacular. Nothing too spectacular for me. But I remember, I remember seeing this project because earlier in the year, like around February, it suddenly shot up. It went up, and it was really trending for a good couple of months. It went from like 40 cents to $6 or something like that. I mean, it really shot up really high unexpectedly, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, it's got some traction.
All right. Nyiam, your turn, please.
Never knew Telegram had a crypto thing attached to it, actually.
Yeah, I thought you had some interesting points. I thought, nice job on the people. You actually do quite a good job in usually giving some sort of identifiable feature, which I always really like. I think the thing to note that just really kind of jumped out at me was the trying to kind of do too many things. I watched a little bit of their kind of promotional videos because they really hype this as having, millions of transactions per second. We want it to be like billions of transactions, and they're talking about this unfettered exponential growth with the project. And I think you kind of highlighting that there might be some sort of tech problem, or that might not be as robust as it's being claimed, I thought was worth noting. So, any final thoughts on this one?
I felt like I had a pretty good handle on it there with the people. That's usually a good indicator for me. Yeah, it felt like it was doing a lot. But I did a couple, my probes into the performance for the most part indicated positive movement. So I was looking at the chart, what it looks like right now. And I mean, over the year, it's up like 96% from a year ago. So it could be, I think it's at $4 right now. Maybe it'll go back up to its all-time high, which is around $8. Like I feel like there's going to be some significant peaks. So keep an eye on it, I guess.
All right. Well, thanks for that. Derek, your turn. Yeah, your charts were looking rather positive. I thought you had a couple of interesting points. Like your session did highlight the word stable, which this is tied to a stable coin, which I thought was cool. And it does definitely, it's advertising, entire focus is we're fast, we can do all these transactions. It's definitely something that they bill themselves in that interchain operability, which I think some of your early imagery really kind of speaks to. All right, Daz, last but not least, let's see your data.
Okay, fun times. And then my grim face at the end there because I didn't like it whatsoever.
I always like that you tell us how you feel about it. I like your final smiley is always sometimes not so smiley. So.
Yeah, mainly with these crap coins, yeah.
What, you're not wowed by the fact that they've got a Memelandia as part of their ecosystem?
No, this is definitely another dog with fleas. Yeah.
The way that you drew the tech, I did like, because it does do this like sort of compartmentalization thing with a lot of their data storage, because storage is also a big component of this thing. And then it bills itself as being, chain interoperability is the catchphrase. So it wants to be able to connect you to whatever freaking chain you want to talk to and do all that fun stuff. So I thought that
That would make sense
way
then. Yeah.
depicted that made sense. So it is not looking good.
Not to me, but I got a distaste for this from off the bat, really.
All right, on that note, so Marty, we would love for you to go through the charts with us because so far the remote viewing has been a little bit underwhelming for this project. So we'd like to.
Speaking of curmudgeons, my fellow curmudgeon Marty Hips, take it away.
Well, I'm going to really blow your mind here because I looked at this and took me 4 minutes to analyze it. Not good. Anyway, that's just what I got. It's just and I missed most of your session because I was outside doing a few things. I don't know. Was it positive overall or anything or so?
The guys had a bit of, there were some positive charts.
Here's what we got, guys.
Overall, it was kind of.
It looks like a bottle rocket. It looks like crap. And this is all I got. It looks like for sure it's going low.